to where, Knight got second on All-Pro team. Scout didn't even make it into the top 3, which, again, it was a regular season award, so I do understand, how that didn't happen. But now, Scout coming into playoffs, just making everyone look like clowns.
Yeah, look, Scout with his champion pool as well. You could say the same about Knight, but remember that Scout has been here longer and has quickly become the lifeblood of EDG alongside the franchise player in Mako. We look at this new EDG, Scout being 2016, Mako 2017. Lyric, as I was saying, I'm wrong again. I'm all over the place today because I've just experienced 2 back-and-forth choppy games. And I know I was right the first time, but we are getting dictated bans towards Scout. I'm there with you now as we get the Renekton.
So this time around, there are 2, high-tier junglers left open. Both Vi and Wukong. EDG actually keeping their bans the same. And it leaves the Vi over to Flandre. I mean, if TS did want to go towards Wukong Zeri, that is open. They could honestly just end up with 2 of the strongest power picks in the meta once again. But we'll see where the flavors take them.
I think Shaco and Rammus. Shaco support, Rammus jungle. That would be top-tier pick. We've seen the Rammus, by the way, flex so many times in our pick bans in this series. Kind of hilarious. I need to know the backstory behind that.
I was going to say, you know that there is, someone out there who's actually in the Chinese community is going to message and be like, hey, they're flexing Rammus because, in 2015, December 1st, this Rammus game happened here. And it's like, oh, that's cool. Because now EDG going to be able to get their hands on the Lucian. Nami, we saw Top Esports do a lot to deny this in Game 1. Actually first picking the Lucian to make sure EDG don't get their hands on it. But this time around, having the same burst coming out from the bot side and also having the Vi to set up the engages, EDG going to try their best to lock down Jackie Love.
And in playoffs so far, Viper is 2-0 on it, but I think we've seen some of the best Lucian Nami lanes come out of these guys as well. And Viper is a demon on this Lucian. The crazy stuff we saw up against FPX where he was Gale Force culling into 3 people. It was scary, Lyric, and we can talk about that in a second. But of course, on Top Esports side, we have our 2v2 as well with the Lulu locked in. So let's move forward. And you know how we move forward in the LPL? We talk about our solo laners because they always get hard banned out.
And I love that the Silas ban coming through against Scout, especially when you have things like Cyclone and Wild Growth already shown on that side. That could just be such an impactful ultis to be able to take away. Another thing I'm keeping my eyes on, more specifically for the side of EDG, would be things like the Ahri. Ahri Vi has just been a combo we've seen can traverse so much distance and pick people off out of nowhere. Ult from Vi, Spirit Rush comes out from Ahri, you have the ult into the charm. It's just so absolutely disgusting. And for EDG, you can see right now, especially with the prio on the Vi, a lot of the pick priorities coming out to things that can guarantee you are able to lock down this area.
Another one might be the Talia, as that gets banned away as well, Lyric. And I was going to say that last game, they banned that against Scout 2. Or at least it was against one of the mid laners. But a common theme so far, as the Ahri you pointed out is still left and available, maybe Knight just cheats and takes that away before Scout can get his hands on it.
Yeah, Ahri's still available. Lissandra, another one that is still up and rearing to go. Yeah. And what Scout was able to do in Game 1 would be quite monstrous. Now, the Fiora taken off the board. I think it's a good call. And EDG kind of stick to their stuff of, putting a bit more focus on top side than the opposition. There is Lissandra that we talked about. And, even though earlier we're like, hey, the squad doesn't engage, it can never be too much. This time around, you do have Lulu there in the bot lane, so wanting to bring more to the playing field. And something that's pretty good up against these lower range AD carries like Lucian Nami, where you can try and find these very easy setups to find the lockdown.
And we're getting huge nodders from Wayward as well. The Lissandra here is going to feel good, and the fact that Wayward gets counterpicked, it's against an Ornn. Flandre has picked up Ornn here, Lyric. While it's all about Scout and how we can supplement talking about the Vi, bit of CC in the mid lane here. The Swain's not something we see a lot anymore, but a return here when Scout was only picking this up once in the regular split.
Yeah, wanting to index really heavy into these short-range, close-knit 5v5s once again. Even having the Ornn up in topside just to make sure that they have that very fluid, tank to be able to set things up. We know the ornaments are going to come through later on. And for TS, they don't. There's no way, right? You go up towards stock considered pick, and they do. They lock in the Lissandra. So supplementing their team fight even more rather than, trying to set up for, either plays in bot or plays in mid. Knight goes in with a claw and you're bringing in a Shen. We don't get to see it today, but I like the drafts coming through. I feel like, once again, we're going to be putting a lot more focus on bot lane this game than we saw come through in the last with no Braum. We've been seeing Lulu lanes be able to do really well up against Lucian Nami, shield that upfront burst, and try to out-trade them on their retreat path, and then making them wait to be able to find that power spike.
I just feel like, though, for top esports, again, Lyric, Wayward on Gwen is something that we've complimented quite a lot in this split. It's his most played, now with his 10th game overall summer, including playoffs. 10 games on Gwen, and Wayward's most played champion up against the Ornn lane. Lyric, I feel like for top esports, we get some pretty daring lanes. But going a little bit deeper here, this time around, as you said, without the Braum, makes me curious about that bottom lane yet again. When Viper and Mako, I said before, had the strongest 2v2 with the Lucian Army that I've seen so far in playoffs. Viper and Mako, who in playoffs with this 2v2 lane, exposed FPX and decimated the team fights. Viper's been our best AD carry now for a year, or at least in that top 3 discussion, but JackeyLove has a world championship before him. I was going to say, Lyric, he's got a world championship too, as Viper picked up one recently, but JackeyLove picked up the first one for the LPL. 2018 IG, he was part of that roster, and JackeyLove was called insane too. A bit of a demon, going back further than Viper, who joined our league this year. And as Worlds 80 carries go head-to-head, as we get into game number 3, we're trying to find out who goes forward into our semi-finals. With top esports locking in Worlds to do that. If EDG get there, then they'll be ever so close as well. And Lyric, now that that's all out of the way, now that I put my book down, I can tell you're looking forward to getting into this one. Oh, that's cute.
That is Mark coming out. No idea what skin that is, because I'm not someone who keeps track of skins, but I do thoroughly enjoy it. And, you said, with no Braum, going to be looking back at bot, but even, looking at our other lanes, right? Like, Lissandra Swain, not something with, a lot of kill pressure in terms of the 1v1, both playing more for their teams. Once again, going towards the unsealed spellbooks, which even signal that. You have an Ornn up in the top side, so that's not really a lane you expect either team to heavily play around. So all signs do really lead down to that bottom lane.
I think bottom lane being the focus again. We got 70 story points. We'll continue throwing it at you. Wayward going to go for a cheeky fade. Well, at level 1, we are getting the poke out yet again. Now, Lyric, you said top esports, they did run this lane in game number 1, but it was up against the Sivir Yuumi. So very different perspective in the 2v2.
Definitely coming in and, I think having a better idea of what they want to do. For TES, though, I feel like that was more of them misplaying rather than anything else. And TS should even feel comfortable coming in with this lane, right? We've seen a lot of times where Lulu Plazeri does manage to get through just fine, but like you said ooh, just like that.
Like an ice cream truck pulled up, and you got so many options available. Tien now, what flavor? He's already pressed W to get over the wall to get here.
He's sherbet. He's orange sherbet.
Oh, orange sherbet, like Austin Powers would like. Tien coming into the walls, looking for that smite to come on down, and JJ doesn't have it. So Tien, thank you so much, he says, as he just walks away with a boatload of cash.
Yep, got his free ice cream and gets out of there now. He's going to be able to traverse through mid, make his way down towards his bot side jungle, try and make sure no shenanigans go down there. Because you look at the bot lane, Viper and Mako having push means that they would have that avenue available. So Tien trying to get to his camps before any type of invade or cheeky plays are able to come through.
Spotted on a ward, though, as we angle back to the ward's bottom side. JackeyLove and Mark getting pushed out as Viper and Mako half the way to level 3 with a wave pushing as well. And we'll continue keeping eyes on this. As we said, the 2v2 strong, and especially Lyric with JJ down in this bottom side. Not sure if he's spotted out on any of the wards moving down either.
Both junglers, right? Both being down here. And I don't think JJ... Actually, I don't know if either jungler spotted out just yet, and heck, might even run into each other's. Tien gonna try and guarantee the scuttle done. Gets it before JJ can even show up.
And isn't it funny, junglers have been matching each other for 3 games in a row now. We saw it bot game 1, top game 2. They're on the same flight path every single time. The read is always there, whether there's a small piece of vision that tracks Tien or whether JJ is just at the right place at the right time.
And jungler's gonna be both instrumental in terms of this game. And think about this game and kind of what we're waiting for, right? For EDG, I feel like in regards to seeing Scout and Flandre be involved in fights, it is a lot about waiting for them to have their ultis up. And, you know, Scout getting in the middle of everyone, opens the ulti, the AoE damage, the AoE heal, Flandre with the Call to Forge, you got to set things up. TS, I think, is more fluid. Like, Knight has been able to keep up prio, and they can try and look for an opportunity. They can, you know, get some control of vision on bot side. We'll start looking for plays earlier on. You already have that CC able to come through from your W to fight kills, but Flandre, like on a nice edge.
We didn't get a chance to talk about this one, Lyric, but Wayward got the last pick of the draft. And the Gwen into the Ornn. Ain't no Shen matchup coming through here, but still, Wayward set up for success, and look at where Tien is.
But Jijit reads this like perfectly. He knows. He's like, okay, Flandre, very low on health. Wayward has a wave coming in. I can't contest this. So TS change. They go from wanting to attack top to being like, okay, we'll attack jungle instead, steal away some of these camps, and not give Jijit an opportunity. So I believe we saw Tien able to get the Wolf last time, and now going to be able to steal the Stomp away.
Yeah, so at least one for the other. The Wolves going down this time, though, at least finding their real friend of the forest is Tien, with another Scuttle Crab here at the 5-minute mark too. And so far, Tien's jungle has just been across the map, so a really good start here, Lyric. And Wayward just moves back up to the top side, asserts dominance yet again. And we are seeing a CS lead up there. We're seeing a CS lead in the jungle, and everywhere else seems to be pretty close to even here at the 5-minute mark too.
For TS, just utilizing the pressure that they have top, right? Again, Flandre picking the Ornn, knowing he's probably going to be in a weak side lane. Gwen doing very well in those like extended duels to be able to beat out the Ornn and make sure that he just has to back off. And just doing a great job of like, okay, Tien playing around the pressure they're generating top to where Knight shadowing down towards bot side. In this case, he got a ward, but even just hovering into Fog of War, presenting that threat there can go a long way in denying what Viper and Mako can do.
So then let me ask you a little bit of a question, because I know you talked about it a bit in draft. We talked about the layering of CC from EDG. We talked about setting up bot lane here with Lucian Nami as well. At what point do we kind of see EDG escalate if bot lane isn't set up by then? Like, because we are getting to the 6 point now, especially from people like Scout, Flandre, and with a little root here, Knight having to pull away, but he's okay for now. But further to my question, Lyric, we do have neutrals that might just line up with each other again with Herald in a minute 45.
And that's what I expect to happen, right? I think the teams will be looking towards Herald before we really see a breakout of any sort of aggression. Okay. Once JJ gets his ult online, you can even look at something like trying to target Wayward first, finding a kill there or blowing an ulti, and then making your way down towards River, where you can then look for that Herald fight, and then you still have things like Call the Forge God. You have the ult able to come out from Swain, and you feel very comfortable taking that fight. So where for TS, I feel like it's a lot more about, again, constantly leaning down towards bot, because it's been Viper and Mako the ones having the push in that bot side. So TS are going to be the ones who are able to try and punish that.
I feel like as well, as we look at top esports setting up for this play, it's going to be them coming in first. It's easy to say now, especially with Knight hovering around, but spotted out by a ward, and they get the flash from Mako too. Glacier Path to get out of there. And TES getting a bit of pressure their own, Lyric, is, I mean, Jack and Lovermark are in a pretty good position here. Not too far down in CS, and the fact that EDG haven't been able to do much with jungle, because let's be real, JJ is massively behind here on the Vi, as back's not going to be stopped, just because of Tien going for early steals, and JJ just not having his camps up and available.
And that's why when we're looking at JJ to, you know, hit that ult point to really be able to just, you know, target a member down if you wanted to find an avenue onto Jackie Love, going to take him longer to get there than Tien on the opposing side and what he's able to do. And now you can see for TS, just rinse and repeat. Make your way down towards spot, Scuttle Crabs up, you can pick that one, potentially go back down into that Tri-Ward and just try and clear out some of this vision, and just keep making EDG guess when you're going to look to make that point of attack.
And JJ does have ulti now, though, but with pretty much every Scuttle so far that we've seen Tien picking up, he'll still maintain that lead. Cyclone of his own as well. Dragon and Rift Herald now coincide with the Herald spawning, and Flandre just drops a ward on that top side. Back's picked up here from top esports as well, and after we lose the little robot in the banner, we can see it's the start of a Rift Maker. We've got a Sheen, Lost Chapter, strong components here from TES, while for EDG on the other side, Lyric, you look and you see some components as well, but maybe not quite as much strength as TES have shown so far.
Only difference is that bot lane, we still haven't seen Jackie Love able to get off another reset yet, so we have Pickaxe and the Dirk coming out for Viper. So Viper right now could hit like a truck and just start bursting out these members from the side of TES. For EDG, I'm curious to see if they do opt into bringing their bot lane top now that Herald is up, or if you just index on getting these plates down, because TS are the team that have pressure up in that top lane, which could more easily set up for them to be able to get on that Herald first.
At least Jackie Love moving down to the bottom lane. There's not going to be many plates taken here from Viper, but as I say that, let's just go for two. Tien doing this by himself will be spotted out. But yeah, JJ is now committing full to the bottom side. Not to drag him, Lyric, but to the bottom side as Cullen comes through from Viper. Jackie Love and Mark try to move back into lane, but EDG are just zoning them out.
EDG, they realize, hey, because of that pressure in top, we don't want to go towards top and commit Herald. They've already backed in bot. Let's just zone them out, try and take away their camps, and look for a fight where we feel strong.
Cool. Smite comes in. Ultra Shock Laser for once, not able to take a steal. This is going to be the third plate, but this time given over to JJ as Glacier Path going to be taken, but Knight doesn't go any further. Flashes over.
Nice.
Gets Mako. His flash was burned earlier. And he's getting revenge for Scout finding classy Lissandra plays in game number 1.
Great pick coming out from Knight, so they managed to pick up 1 kill, plus the Herald on top of it. EDG, though, 3 plates. That's definitely nothing to scoff at in terms of the advantage they are now starting to stack up for their AD carry.
I mean, Knight picking up first blood. We've got top esports finding a window at the very least. But you're right, the plating picked up, close to getting that first item here on the Lucian. As look at the replay, Lyric, and Knight just wanted to go all in.
Goes for it. We didn't think he was going to follow it up, but being able to travel the distance, get the ult down. I feel like even had Mako not stopped to throw out the ulti, probably would have still been in striking range for the CC to be able to come out over the side of top esports, especially with Mark able to give that speed up to be able to close that gap. So overall, nice play. Now TS going to look to transfer that pressure to mid.
With a ganking AD carry as well. He's moving on in. Glacial Path taken, and Scout is just CC'd for days. Jackie Love gets an early kill on Zeri yet again in Lyric. Man, Lissandra's been looking good in this series.
Lissandra just able to keep up that prio in so many matchups and constantly hover over for that movement, right? That's what we've seen come through both times it was played, when it was, you know, from Scout earlier on or even Knight here. Just that doing so much for the team. Scout really waiting for, you know, these skirmishes to come out either around Drake or Herald or River to really be able to find that impact with the Demonic Ascension, just whittling everyone down. Hasn't been able to do that or get out of lane just yet. And even a difference we see coming through, right, is the fact of having the Nami in the bot side, him not going to that mandate, going back towards that Leandries, which gives you, like, you yourself are much stronger and able to put out more damage, less about, you know, enabling your teammates, which he really doesn't have to do here anyway. So we'll see if that pays off in the end, because TS now have been able to match the plates taken in bot and mid.
Yep, it's a huge boon, right? As I want to come back, Tien as well with the last play, kind of showing us the jungle difference in this game too. He's had such a good performance, and it's kind of what you'd expect out of the summer MVP of the LPL for 2022. Is Dragon's going to be started up in Lyric yet again. We've just had so many late Dragons here in this series. I just wonder whether EDG are willing to contest, because no jungler nearby. If they walk in, they'll probably die.
They have no vision around either. Knight just once again pushed in the mid wave, so feels like a hard ask for EDG to contest. TS will be able to pick up the dragon and get out scot-free. And now for EDG, I mean, there's just so much vision in the river. It's going to be really hard for them to make a play like they're trying to angle for now.
I mean, Knight was one glacial path away from getting in, but doesn't pull the trigger. The rest of top esports moving on up with Jackie Love and Mark playing the roaming duo yet again. Heading back down to the bottom lane. They've got a minute and a half left of plating Lyric, and I guess they're just controlling this side of the map while letting EDG play the guessing game with no vision of their own.
And you know, looking at items, you can see that small jungle difference you were talking about earlier come into play, because now coming out of base, JJ finally completed his Kempung Chainsword. Tortian's already had the Divine Sunder. Divine Sunder, I believe, 500 gold more expensive, 3,300. And that's supposed to be the selling point of Kempung Chainsword. It's like, hey, it's gold efficient, you can get a little bit earlier, have that little bit of a power spike in terms of stats earlier on, and Tien has been able to match him. Speaking of matching,
Gale
EDG
Force
might be walking into a trap.
I mean, Viper does have item and serrated Dirk, so if he's able to get out of this one, top esports could be in trouble for the turn, but look who's coming down. Knight from behind. Ultra Shock Laser doesn't connect as Tidal Wave might turn it around in an instant. Tien almost there for the Wild Growth, saving his life. They have to commit the flash. Viper running forward on the rest. Is Zeri not in the position to carry? And there you go. Big bad Viper. His damage means a lot more.
You hit the nail on the head. The item difference coming in clutch, Gale Force on top of a serrated Dirk. No mythic completed yet for Jackie Love. Beautiful follow through from JJ as well to guarantee the kill goes through. And even Scout covering up in the top side to try to limit what Wayward's able to take.
When everything looks to be going wrong for EDG, there's a lot of carries to rely on. I feel like one of them is Vipers. We might be going further with this one. Wayward using the Ghost, the Needlework already down. And Scout still having everything available. Wayward can't tempt fate. So, Lyric, let's be real. This game was looking pretty top Esports favored a moment ago. But now Gold's back to even. We're 14 minutes in. Viper's almost 2 items strong here as we look at the replay.
We're going to see it top Esports thinking they have positioning because they have both mid and support coming through. They would have numbers, but immediately he goes in and just look at the amount of damage that Viper's putting down with that calling. Finishes off Tien after the flash, and then JJ following through, goes for the Q into the flash to make sure they can get that CC off right away, and the kill goes through.
And props to Flandre committing the TP as well, right? EDG in an instant pull the trigger, and Flandre's pet goat flies across the screen. So now with 2 kills of their own, going to Viper as well. Already mentioned the items. Jackie Love still doesn't have his first, and he picked up a kill earlier on. And Lyric, EDG actually getting something back with a 4-man mid push that Knight is struggling to defend.
It doesn't look like he'll be able to. He actually might go down.
Engage, knockback, can't ulti. That CC layering from EDG was clean.
But look at Flandre on the opposite side, just forced the flash, but I think he gets away. So nice allocation of members by EDG. Put your tank down in bot side. He's not as vulnerable to those dives. Look for that play on mid, and Wayward not even having time to threaten turret on top side.
Oh man, EDG coming back into this one as Wayward is just crossing over, goes immune, but culling at melee range. Viper running into him. There's the Nami ult again. Mako and Viper, the goal to the bottom lane return.
Even knowing they could chase down, the bubble would have even hit had the W not come out. Skill shots on point from the duo of EDG.
It's going back and forth, but EDG now with a 1k gold lead. Viper with 3 kills. And Lyric, this is what I said at the start of this segment, the start of Game 3. The Lucian Nami lane in the hands of EDG's bot is just something else.
That's why they're so comfortable to pick it up, and I think why they were willing to go for that gamble in Game 1 of like, hey, pick whatever you want, whether you get like the Wukong or you take the Yuumi. Like, we're fine taking the Lucian Nami lane, but they're also fine going against it. And it even goes back to Worlds, right? Because this was a bot lane that wasn't really meta throughout last year, kind of came into the meta when we got into Worlds, and guess what team was at Worlds and maybe happened to pick up the title? It was these guys!
Yeah. And now trying to gear up so you get another skin. That would be nice, wouldn't it? As top Esports, of course, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, Lyric, because they have First Dragon. There's been a couple of mistakes, but we still have an objective advantage as TES move into River first. Walk me through this if you have time.
I gotta say, all ultis up for top Esports.
Knight! That ulti sets it up. There's a call, the Forge God from Flandre. A triple knockup too as top Esports. Still haven't killed anyone, relying on Jackie Love. JJ kiting it out as they zoned it out. The shock laser not connecting. Wayward now steps up to the plate, but EDG are all still alive. The glacier path not taken. Top Esports low now too. How is nobody dead?
I can't believe no one from EDG went down. Top Esports had everything. Tien wasn't really able to get involved in the fight and utilize that Cyclone, though. That could have been a bit of a difference maker. Now TS, it looked like Knight had everything for them, but EDG gonna be the team to pick up the Dragon.
Somehow, some way, I mean, that was just crazy. Such a good angle from Knight. I was getting deja vu, Lyric, from Scout's Game 1 yet again. I know I've said it before, but Lissandra just has a different feel. However, with Dragon going down, the odds are evened out, and Lyric, come back to the comp here before we get to something like a replay, because EDG is starting to scrap and Viper's so far ahead. I'm kind of worried for how this mid game's going to look and how top Esports can defend.
And well, actually, you don't get to think about that because we get to find out how exactly this fight went down. You can see TS having a favorable position. All ultis already being up. He sets them up. But Viper actually gets a huge amount of damage onto Tien. So Tien's never able to get involved with the Cyclone. And JJ, oh my god. He sidestepped that one, and that actually was the difference maker for him. TS not able to finish off the kills. And again, in my mind, a big difference maker was Viper getting that damage onto Tien because Tien was never able to get in the fight and use Cyclone.
The fact that it was so close, again, crazy. Dragon goes down, but we come back to live, and there's going to be another outer turret taken by EDG. Mid, top, now down. gold lead now close to 2,000. And this Herald Lyric looking for a second charge as Knight tries to defend.
And other members of TS are making their way up. We can see both bot and jungle already here to prevent the push from going any further. So top Esports gonna be just fine. And I mean, this game's already had a few different feels. You kind of hit on it. TS felt like they were in control early. EDG now being the ones in the driver's seat, but still incredibly close game. A nice contrast to game 1 and 2, where both teams stomped one game apiece.
It's nice that it's so close, you're right, especially when top Esports are going to climb back some of the gold that I was just talking about with mid going down as well. Lyric, this is your moment. You got to tell me more about that composition because I asked before, you got interrupted by a replay. Oh,
I mean, right, both teams, wanting to look for these 5v5s, but, you know, we might actually have to wait for the pick to come
he's
through.
TPing!
It does!
He was just TPing. Knight with the unluckiest timing. He's going to self-ult, but he's in the middle of everyone. That is a bummer.
I mean, depends on what perspective you're looking at, right? Because for EDG, that is just beautiful to be able to come through right in the nick of time. Just get more vision control on this top side of the map. We already know top tier 2 turret is incredibly low, so if Scout would be able to push us in and hit freely, that one would just go down. And they have been able to keep control of mid because of the strength coming from Viper and Mako. Just
heading forward whenever he wants, culling onto Zieni, flashes away, but it's in a straight line. Viper! Again, the snake strikes.
Just the amount of distance you can travel, right? Gale Force plus calling. Lucian might be a short-range champion, but there are a lot of things around him that enable him to find that burst from afar. Rapid-fire cannon in pocket as well, and he looks like he's already on his way to his 3rd item.
How different does Lucian Nami look in the hands of EDG versus top Esports?
There it is.
Oh, Lyric, 3 items, that's huge.
Yeah, Collector now picked up. We're going to get a replay of, we're actually just getting a replay of exactly what we just saw. Tian trying to walk in, expecting the play to be being made on top side, feeling safe because his Wukong has the W, has the flash available, but not accounting for, again, the Gale Force, the dash, the calling able to come through. It doesn't matter how far he gets, he still goes down at the end of the day. Now, 3 items on Viper compared to 1.5 on Jackie Love. And heck, we gotta remember, like, Ord items, they're gonna start coming out soon.
Oh, true. So are we not talking about scaling then, Lyric? Like, does it matter in this context here of top Esports? They have Gwen, they have Zeri, and surely we would have thought that top Esports, if they could slow the game down, the later this goes, it would be beneficial.
I feel like it's just going to depend on how we see teamfights set up. Because once again, I feel like EDG kind of more indexed into burst with things like the Lucian. You have, you know, decent amount of damage to the mid lane coming out from the Swain that is sustained. I need to,
yeah, Flash does come through and he's getting the true damage. We've got one more here as that hurts so much. Flandre about to get solo killed. He's already burnt everything and Wayward flashes the emote in our top 4 series and that's just how it's done.
Great job coming out from Wayward. We highlighted coming into the day that he's one of the points that we've seen attacked a little bit on TS, who's actually subbed out in their last series of the regular season. Xing Tian had come in, and now to come in to solo kill Flandre, who, I mean, Flandre's been dominating in the past 2 series up against Breathe and Summit. So I think nice statement coming out from Wayward.
When we look at the replay, which one? Yeah, the solo kill of Gwen pressing the R button, Lyric. It looks pretty easy here against the Orc.
I was going to say, I always find it funny when we get like replays of situations like this. Like literally the second after we saw it, our observer was panned on them like the whole time.
We need to see
it's
it
a great
again.
job of, like you said, running them down. Flandre pushed a little too far forward. The Flash not able to really carry any distance. And then Gwen, I was just going to be able to keep getting those E procs up to be able to chase him down because look at the lane. No tier 1 turret up for safety.
So you're talking a lot about teamfight setup, where it wasn't just like blatantly scaling. Let's come back quickly before anything else happens, but not sure if I'm going to have that opportunity because Dragon is up, especially around this 3rd neutral, Lyric. What do you think? For top Esports, confident to contest this, or are you just going to let this one go?
I mean, EDG have complete vision control. I think it would be incredibly hard. You can see Tian on the top side of the map right now, so it's not going to be the play coming out from TES to try and contend with this. But looking at setup, things like setup later on, right, I feel like TES are going to lean heavily in potentially having to enter or like contest objectives through sides with the pressure that Wayward is putting up. So we can see from EDG, it just constantly been overloading in the mid lane, definitely having that comp that wants to stay tight-knit, close together, open up with Call the Forge God, get Scout and JJ in there, and stay right in the thick of things, but kind of relying on some of that burst to be able to come through, because both Gwen and Zeri definitely monsters in these extended fights.
And the crazy thing is we haven't really seen any of those fights into fruition, right? We haven't seen in the close corridors, as you're talking about, as Wayward, there's going to be a dash used over the wall. JJ can't force anything else. I was going to say, we haven't seen anything outside of Viper and Mako start off the pick, and there's like 3 members of EDG in a close-knit. We haven't seen Scout in combination with JJ or with Flandre's ulti all in one space, so I'm glad you alerted me to the dangers, especially when Viper's almost 4 items strong here on this Lucian. And Lucian, when he has free space as well, is just going to be so much more deadly. Getting this inner turret as well, Lyric. More gold to EDG, by the way, at a 3K gold margin for now.
And we can even start to see some of these differences, right? Because EDG, again, just constantly is 5. TS playing more with their side lanes. And even things to think about our flanks, right? Especially for Knight. We saw he was able to come off on an angle last time and lock multiple people down. Had Tien not been chunked so low beforehand, that could have been the difference maker. And it looks like they're going to set up for it once again.
Might be caught out. Culling going to hit him up. That's an easy pick. Well, top Esports are picking the left side to make their flank. You were talking about, Lyric. Mark is on the right.
Oh, wait, they're going to walk into them?
Well, maybe not, but Scout's going to go golden in the nick of time. Now the problem is with the Glacier Path Knight still going in. He's ulti, but he's in the middle of 5 people, relying on Jackulove when he's an item and a half down. Top Esports going out the bloody way, but can need a work, turn it back over. Glacier Path not taken as Jackulove gets pulled in. That tight corridor given over, and our 2021 world champions are looking red hot in Game 3.
They're going to turn straight towards the Baron to try to leverage this lead.
Oh, TP again. Wayward lucky to get out. Man, that would have been the second time TP hurt top Esports.
And now we see Knight TPing up towards the top side. I wonder if he's going to come and try and be a nuisance because they know members of EDG are low after that fight. But my God, they are doing this so fast. It looks like they should be able to guarantee it. They do have Smite on JJ. And now with Bax able to come out, I don't think Wayward should be able to take another turret.
Definitely not. Look at the replay, Lyric, because this was after Mark got caught out and top Esports are like, yeah, let's do it anyway.
I know they were waiting in the brush. I thought they'd walk into multiple members, and then Knight dodging out on the Vi buys time. And Tien now getting in there. They're waiting for Wayward to be able to get involved before anything really comes out. But Scout with a beautiful E to be able to pull Jackulove in. He's kind of in the middle of things, absorbing the whole time. And then right there by Jackulove, getting taken down by EDG.
Viper just running around the fight as well. Infinity Edge, by the way, after it, Lyric. So 4 items now picked up. No defensive item. Viper is going full throttle. Well, Jackulove in that last fight just picked up the PD, but now has a BF sword, but he's still massively behind in comparison. Right now, better bottom lane, better looking here on the side of EDG as their gold lead, Lyric, pretty massive after the last one too, with 6,000 in their back pocket and the map under control with Baron now available.
And now we're at a point where Jackulove, Knight, these guys not having their flashes up and available. Gale Force there for Viper, though.
God, the Forge God. Knight flashes away. That's a 3-man knockup. Nice from Flandre. But EDG came for the turret, and they're not leaving until it's dead. Now onto the base, Lyric, and top Esports have Wayward on a flank, but how do you get in? Culling. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Onto Tien. Oh, no. Wild growth used. Viper is running forward like a maniac.
And now, having Scout able to come in with the Rylai's picked up, they're ringing farm. They didn't feel too pressured.
They didn't.
But my God, TS now. TS are definitely feeling the pressure.
Are they going to be able to put up a fight at this point? I feel like someone's just going to die as top Esports try and mount a defense. Viper not letting anyone come in as the ward goes down on their way out, and inhibitor turret is broken open, and the base is in tatters. They're looking for Knight on the wing as Flandre and the rest of EDG move as a unit. And Lyric, this is just showing that EDG are continuing their playoffs run. This is showing us that EDG, this team fighting, continues to be their strength.
And I feel like we've gotten to the point. Oh my God,
goes
Knight!
in. Viper flashes out. That's double summoners out at least here as double Sonjas comes through. Wayward off on a flank. A chance to have a top Esports as Jackulove has his ulti and is
Viper's
escalating.
down.
Viper is dead, you're right. Tien helps get that shut down as Jackulove jumps on in. Zeri unleashing the fight, but JJ wants to stop him with Call the Forge God as well. Flandre and JJ saving heads. Top Esports with 3 down, and Even with Viper dead, Lyric, it ain't enough.
No, and now EDG, they're sending JJ to be able to take the Dragon. They're pushing through mid. Probably even just going to turn to bot inhib here and not look for too much more. Mark and Knight not really having anything available to dissuade or stop this push coming out from EDG.
Double inhibitor then. That's what's going to be taken. Top Esports clearing out the mid wave and not looking a second thought at EDG. As you said, that Dragon will lead to number 3. Top Esports now, not only the base, but that 10k gold lead just about. And EDG showing that this game is in the palm of their hands. Feeling pretty good here as EDG look to continue their run, Lyric. And time after time again, man, these fights are looking so good.
And especially now, right? You even picked off Viper in that fight and you still weren't able to win out. Knight seeing Viper dash forward, wanting to follow in. Already got chunked so low just from that damage from him. But still, you got to flash, you got to cleanse out. This is where they see their time to go in and find the impactful kills. Tries to walk up in TN. Perfect moment. Cyclone comes out.
Yep.
But still, that's not the only damage on the side of EDG. Scout has the ult pop, is draining down everyone. And with some of those CC tools still on lock, like the cease and desist coming out from JJ, they're able to just hone in on them one by one. And I got to be real, Hysterics.
Please.
This feels like EDG are Gordon Ramsay. TES are like one of those teams on Hell's Kitchen, and they messed up a plate of scallops.
Oh,
and if
man.
you've watched Hell's Kitchen, you know you do not mess up scallops in front of Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
You don't.
Raw! I know, I completely know, right?
Exactly.
Getting eaten out at this point. Hang up your jacket, Top Esports. If we get like this in game number 4, we'll definitely be handing it in because Top Esports are the team that secures worlds with the series win, and EDG right now are looking to deny it. Might only be game number 3, but they're going to take it to match point as Tien walks up and Viper does the same. This Lucian is taking names as the flank from Knight. Could be
Knight.
everything, no tidal wave. Viper running into him in the 1v1. Viper is going to take his name instead. Knight made the flank, and Viper makes him pay. In the back line, he Culling's out for his double, as Wayward now needs to carry the network. Almost kills him, though, with Zeri as well, and Gwen off the rim. This is going to be a scaling battle. Flash forward from Jaculov, going after Viper, onto Jeje. The Renan's big, but Flandre stepping on up. Aqua Prison, Jaculov about to die, but that's denied too. Viper's dead, and Zeri is doing Zeri things again. Jaculov running with the rest of his team, but Mako's next, and Lyric, Top Esports will not be forgotten yet.
Top Esports put the pieces together. The flank from Knight. It's buying time. It's distracting Viper. The damage is going down. But still the Zeri online. Sure, EDG have minions in the base. But now Top Esports going to be able to clear these out. And sure, the gold lead's still there. But we're at a point where it looks like Top Esports composition with the Zeri, with the Gwen is coming out in full force.
I can't believe it. Again, Top Esports never say die, Lyric. And this flank wasn't even what set it up in the end.
No, we see Knight, like he goes in on Viper, distracts him, like he's gonna go down, but look, that's 2 members of EDG now zoned out. Sure, these frontliners are absorbing a ton of damage, but look at Jaculov on the backside of the fight, able to get out these autos for free. Like he's at a point now where he's incredibly strong, and we hit on earlier in the game that both Jaculov and Wayward are gonna deal more consistent damage than anyone on the opposing side. Good try by EDG at the end of the day to try to CC him down and like find the kill to be able to make it work. But at the end, they weren't able to do it.
He's got 3.5 items, Lyric. I'm getting concerned. It feels like old school Aphelios days. It becomes a win condition, and for Jaculov to freestand within a fight, it's going to be a big deal if you can do something like that again. Let's not forget Wayward as well, Lyric. His ultimate is getting near half HP territory for someone like Viper as Knight's been caught out. Knight has been caught out. We were just highlighting Top Esports as Glacier Path to be taken, but caught Fort God hits max range, and Viper.
He's gone!
2 shots him. Top Esports have lost their mid laner, and their top laner's caught out too. I don't think a needlework can save that as he misses the last. Culling gets him down. TES,
Oh, they're gonna go for the end!
happened, Lyric?
They're getting caught out, now they're getting pinched!
Okay, now they're pinched, they're trying to turn it around onto the fight. Jaculov is the only one left standing, but they all turn heads. Top Esports throw any semblance of a return in this game away, and EDG is back to square one with Viper telling us to remember his name one last time. In this game number 3, Lyric, they'll move to match point, and Edward Gaming are one step away from returning to the semi-final and returning closer towards their Worlds 2022.
30 seconds earlier, Top Esports had given us hope. They'd given us the hope that they could start taking these fights. And then out of nowhere, after a replay, Knight getting caught out in side lanes, and you could tell all of TS were like, we need to go save him. We can't get this pick over. They can end the game. But sadly, kind of leads into them bundling in one by one, and EDG capitalized. And you pointed out, now match point for EDG, wanting to make it to that upper bracket final before, hopefully getting to go all the way to the grand final, return to Worlds as first seed,